You talk in the book about having this jump first, think later mentality, which I massively resonate with. I was exchanging some emails with you. I mean, I live with ADHD. Obviously, that's a big part of your journey as well. A beautiful side of ADHD and neurodiversity is that we just get shit done. That is kind of, I decide I'm launching a brand, I'm doing a brand, I'm launching a podcast, I'm launching a podcast. You know, you just get on with it.
Yes.
How's that helped you in the world of wrestling, where you often don't have a much chance to think about a decision?
I think it's the single-handed number one reason why I've been successful so far. And I think you could say that for a lot of really incredible people. I think that's the same reason why Cardona has been successful, whether he wants to admit that he has ADHD or OCD or whatever else. He's definitely got something D going on. And I think that's what makes him so special. And I think there's a lot of, I mean, even when you look at, I don't know if you've looked into it much, but like, if you look at some successful people who have like ADHD or autism or even like bipolar and stuff like that, there are some incredibly like creative and successful people who are neurodivergent. And I think it's like, it is a superpower. I say it's my superpower. My therapist says the same thing. I think it can be very hard in a lot of ways. I mean, there's a lot, I'm sure you can agree, like there are daily struggles where, you know, on the weekend, I opened my bag and I found a random pair of rental car keys that I forgot to return a month ago that I'm sure I've been charged $300 for that I haven't even noticed. And that's a daily occurrence for me, is like forgetting whatever, disorganized, forgetting stuff, losing stuff. Like the list of challenges that I deal with ADHD is very big, but it is all worth it because I have this, like, I do not care about what people think. Like I really don't get embarrassed about anything or insecure about certain stuff. Like the fear of failure doesn't exist. Like when I wrote this book, I was like, I literally don't give a shit if 5 people read it and they all say they hate it. Like, I don't care if I sell 0 copies. Like none of that is the motivating factor for me. And obviously, of course, that doesn't mean I wasn't going to promote it correctly. But I think also the reason why I know, like, hey, I know if I want to write a book, like I'm going to write a book, but also it's going to be really successful because I know myself and I know that like everything I do 110%, and I'm going to, you know, book my own book tour and I'm going to promote the shit out of it. And I'm going to make sure that like there is no option other than this working. And that's kind of been my whole career story. Like when I was 18 and I decided I was going to start wrestling, like it was never a question of like, oh, I might make it. It was like, yeah, I'm going to go to WWE. And, you know, even now when I talk about it, I've made a point, and I don't think I've ever said this publicly, but like since I got released, I always made a point to say when I go back to WWE instead of if I go back to WWE, because my dream goal eventually is still to go back to WWE because I would like to wrestle in WrestleMania. I would like to hold a title. Like there are a lot of things. I would like to be in 2K. I would like to have a Mattel figure. There are quite a few things that you cannot achieve unless you're at WWE. And those are all still career goals of mine. So I made a point of saying, and I always do when I go back, because to me, it's holding myself accountable of like, well, if I'm going to walk around with such an ego that I think and I know that I'm going back, then I better like do every single thing in my power to make sure that that becomes a reality. It's like a level of accountability. But I also think there's a level of like manifestation and presenting, like if you believe you can do something, then you're much more likely to achieve it. Whereas if you don't even think that you're capable of doing something, or if you're unsure about it, then guess what? Your chances of doing it are so much lower. Like I just had a friend who's an indie wrestler. I'm not going to mention names, but like feeling like she's spinning her wheels and she doesn't know what she's doing and it's all for nothing and is she wasting time and da-da-da. And I said, okay, well, and she said something in it. She said, I don't think I'm going to get signed anywhere anytime soon. So what's the point? And I was like, okay, why do you think that? And she was like, well, it just doesn't feel like there's anything like on the horizon for me. I don't know what I'm working towards. And I'm like, that's exactly it though. Like I said, where would you like to get signed? Do you want to get signed at WWE, TNA, or AEW? Because those are 3 different places that require slightly different things, right? If you go to AEW, you've got to be better at certain things. If you go to WWE, you've got to be better at certain things. TNA, same thing. And it's also 3 different avenues of like connections, people that you need to get in contact with, like location wise, like, okay, pick the company, put yourself there. Can you get yourself to Orlando, or can you get yourself to a TNA taping? Like, you need to know where the fuck you're going in order to get there. And then she like sent me back, oh, this is where I want to go. And I'm like, okay, cool. Now we can work on, like, do you have contacts there? Have you worked there before? What did they say last time? What do you need to work on? Like, it's laying out that plan, you know? And I think that is a big part of it too, is like always knowing where you want to go and what the end goal is and being specific about it. And then you can take those baby steps backwards. Like even today in therapy, I said to my therapist, I was like, you know what? Because she was like, oh, is WWE on Netflix now? And I was like, yeah, it is. And I was like, it's so cool. I just literally just realized be on Netflix is in my 5-year goals. And that's probably one of the most ambitious ones that I wrote like a couple of years ago. But like, that's an eventual, like, I don't know how. I purposely left it vague because I was like, I don't know how, I don't know what's going to take me there, but be on Netflix. And that was long before WWE on Netflix was ever a thing. But I said, I was like, wow, it's crazy. Like me being on Netflix, even with the partnership with WWE and TNA, went from a very far and away goal to like actually very possible in the next couple of years. But if I, you know what I mean? If I didn't lay that long term, I also wouldn't have that feedback of like, okay, I'm on the right track, you know?